WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Oh, yes, indeed. There we are. Gremlins in the system on a Monday. It's a daily ticket with you here. A lot to get to. What a crazy day at Lincoln Financial Field. And, of course, the Eagles battling back the way that they did to come out on top. All things NFL Week 3 recap coming your way. The stars, the teams that were booed off the field, and the lack of running game across the league as a whole that is plaguing a few teams right now. Eye-opening, to say the least. Also, some college football mixed in. And, oh, by the way, we can't forget about them fightings. Luke Arcaini joining us here right from the jump on a Monday, as he always does. Of course, the Phillies, sitting pretty right now, Luke, but after what we just saw with the Eagles yesterday, it's hard to even think about anything other than the color green at this point in time. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. That was just absolutely unbelievable yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Unbelievable football game, unbelievable comeback. But I think it'd be wrong to not start this off with talking about the quarterback of the Eagles.
We will.
But man, the fact that they finally let that guy play football in the second half yesterday and finally let him play the quarterback position, just to see what happens when you let your quarterback throw the football and you free him up and you don't run halfback draws on third down and what it felt like every single third down of the first half. Just an incredible second half, an unbelievable comeback, and one of the wildest regular season games I can remember from the Eagles. It was an awesome win. Didn't really feel like a win. With that last 30 seconds on that Rams drive, felt like they were going down there a little too easy. But I will say, and we're going to get into this obviously, but I don't know if that kicker would have even made that kick if Jordan Davis didn't block it. I saw some people slow it down. Looked like he pulled it a little bit, but nonetheless, it's set up for an absolutely electric full field touchdown celebration with the fans in the end zone. It was an unbelievable game, and the Eagles are 3-0.
And, oh, by the way, they covered. And
good teams win, great teams cover.
That's it. Without further ado, you know where we're going.
The Daily Ticket opening drive. No warm-ups, no stretching, just straight into the action.
So you either win or you learn, right? But when you win and you feel like you got a lot to learn, you need to come on with the come on.
It is 4th and goal. This is the game right here. This is it. Hurts in the gun. Hang on. Deep breath. Hurts back. Hurts looks. Hurts fires. Complete. Touchdown! They take the lead. Smith. Smitty. It's Smith. Devontae Smith. Into the end zone. They take the lead.
We won the game. We were gritty in the game. We stayed together as a team. We did not quit. Nobody gave up. And in competitive sports, that's what it's about.
They blocked him the last time. The ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's blocked. It's blocked. It's picked up by the Eagles. Running with it is Davis. 30, 20, 10.
Run, big man.
Touchdown.
Run.
Jordan Davis.
Are you kidding me?
Blocked him again.
Are you kidding me?
Blocked him again. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Do you believe in miracles?
The Rams are standing silent. They can't believe what just happened to them.
Eagles Radio Network right there, courtesy of the great Merrill Reese and Mike Quick on the call. And yeah, as we discussed, Luke, to get this party started here on a Monday, a lot to chew on. It's just Jalen being Jalen. And we talked about this in the pregame show where it's like, I don't remember ever having this stretch of from as far as 18 and 19 going into yesterday of games that he has started and winning. And I feel like that is not getting enough attention. Now I get it. You're the kings of the mountain. You're on top of the mountain. You are the man. You win the Super Bowl, and that's where the focus is. But winning games every single Sunday that you take the field just can't be something that we get used to. And it's like, no big deal. It's insane when you say 18 of 19, now 19 of 20 games that the Eagles have won when Jalen Hurts starts and finishes. Just a tremendous comeback by a team that has that championship medal, that mentality of what it takes, never give up, as what you heard from Jalen Hurts after the game. And there has to be a lot of that, right? Like, when you're trailing by 19 points in what was a game that you could not get anything going, whether it was your bread and butter run game, whether it was the passing game, just whatever you were trying to do offensively in that first half was not working. And credit to everybody, all parties, coaching staff, players included, of course, to say, you know what, we need to change some things up and be aggressive here. And oh, by the way, get the ball to A.J. Brown. Good things happen when you throw the ball to A.J. Brown. He is a beast of a man out there, just shoving defensive backs off of him. And oh, by the way, yards after catch, the yak was ridiculous with him yesterday. But you're right. When it comes down to that comeback, it's Jalen Hurts putting the team on his back, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, converting on tough third downs, converting on tough fourth downs, and that's where it has to start with, oh, by the way, you have to mix this in. Sean McVay coming up a little small. I thought he was this offensive guru, and he is. He's a damn good offensive mind. Dude, what are you doing? You got to go for it. They could not get anything going on the ground in the second half. They rushed 45 total yards. You need to change things up. That was an epic choke job. If they picked up one more first down or didn't kick the field goal that got blocked and instead decided to go for it, I don't think the Eagles will have enough time, and I don't think the Eagles come back to win that game. So it goes hand in hand. McVay's got to look himself in the mirror going, how the hell did we lose that game?
Yeah, that was a cowardly coached game yesterday by him.
Really was.
I think for some reason, he gets against the Eagles. And I feel like we've said this multiple times about McVay in the last few games. I feel like he's had so many coward decisions against the Eagles, and you wouldn't think that'd be the case. He's now 0-4 against Nick Sirianni. But back to the Jalen thing. I don't know what else to say anymore. The Eagles are 44-7 in full games with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Like you said, Jalen Hurts is 17-0 in his last 17 games, including the playoffs. In those 17 games, 17-0, 3,800 total yards, 43 touchdowns, 5 turnovers. Most comeback wins when trailing by double digits since 2020, including playoffs. Patrick Mahomes, 13. Next is Jalen Hurts with 10. Jalen Hurts on throws past the sticks yesterday. 10 for 15, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 144 passer rating. 7 of his 9 completed passes over 10 air yards in the second half for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. I just don't know what else to say about the guy. And you can sit here and say whatever. He scores a bunch of rushing touchdowns. Cool. If a quarterback could do it, he would do it too. Lamar Jackson scores a ton of rushing touchdowns. Yeah. Josh Allen scores a bunch of rushing touchdowns, right? It's an asset to his game. Why stop if it works? The tush push, all the outrage, the false start. I've never in my life seen people care. All these people, I get on social media and I see all these people tell you to put away the stats and put away the all 22 and put away the film and watch ball. And then all of a sudden, the Eagles are on the tush push, and they find these sideline angles, and they put it in 0.1 speed, and they're like, "Oh, this guy jumped off sides by a millisecond." Dude, come on, man. Put it away. Obviously, if the guy jumps off sides, right? I get it. the one play yesterday, you slow it down. Yeah, whoever it was offsides. Then call it a false start. If it was a false start, then call it a false start. It wasn't a false start. It wasn't called. It was just unbelievable quarterback play. And I mean, get AJ Brown the ball, man. Like a few of those plays yesterday. I think my favorite one was the third. I believe it was 3rd and 10. They were back in their zone. I believe it was either late third quarter or early fourth. And AJ Brown catches that pass on 3rd and 10 on the top of the screen, right past the sticks. And just little boys, like 3 guys on the Rams. Stiff arms one, jukes another.
Big dude, man.
Get that guy the ball, man. I mean, I saw someone say today, like, if AJ Brown, with the player he is, he could have 1,500 yards this season. And he doesn't, because that's not how the Eagles run. The Eagles don't throw the ball 30 to 40 times a game. They don't need to, because they win. Man, if Hurts needed to throw the ball 30, 40 times a game, AJ Brown would be on a Hall of Fame trajectory right now. That's how good that guy is. It's absolutely incredible. He's young. This tandem is just unbelievable, and I think we all saw it yesterday.
Hey, continue to win Super Bowls in your name. You will be in Canton, right?
You'll be in there. You don't need the yards.
We trust your eyes. We know how special of a player he is. He potentially could be the best player on the field. Saquon is pretty darn good at what he does. Lane Johnson, what he does. Verse is pretty darn good at what he does for the Rams. There's a lot of great players out there, especially on Sundays. We know that. But AJ Brown, he delivers every single time he's called upon. I don't really remember AJ Brown not coming up with a catch. I would really have to dig hard. I thought for sure he was going to get called for a push-off, though, on that one touchdown.
Yeah, well, they got us back for the Devontae Adams one early in the game. So
I thought for sure that was going to happen. But, to your point, 10 targets, 6 grabs, a $109, 1 touchdown, essentially all in the second half. Devontae, 2 as well. They go hand in hand. Welcome back, Dallas Goedert. Gave that play out in pregame. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dallas Goedert was on the field more than anybody as far as receivers are concerned, more routes than anybody. He only got 1 catch. He only had 1 catch the whole afternoon, and he made the most of it.
Damn big
30 yards to the house. Yeah, big time play there. All right. So again, just an incredible comeback on the offensive side of the ball. But of course, if we're giving out game balls, I need 2. Hey, my people in the back. Yeah, I need 2 game balls. Boom, I get 1, I get 2. And I'm giving it out to the big men, Jalen Carter, and of course, Jordan Davis. Because those boys, they were able to find something that they were able to bring to the table and forgive me, maybe they've been doing it in the other games. I don't remember seeing the breakdown all that much, and I'm sure that we will start to see this more and more. But what they were able to do from the first opportunity that they had going up against on the field goal block against the field goal team for the LA Rams, and getting that push, that's just think about the size of those 2 individuals, and they're over up whatever it is, a guard or this. I don't think you can rush the center, but it's right to the right of the center. And next thing you know, the push that they were getting, they almost blocked the first one. Orlovsky did a good breakdown earlier today. They almost got that one. So it was no surprise that they were able to get to the next field goal, that they had an opportunity to do so. And it was about as big as it gets. Because again, if one of those goes through, of course, the last one that needs no explanation. I don't know if the Eagles will have enough time to win it. However, doesn't matter. They blocked the first one. Jalen Carter got credit for that one. Jordan was right there, but they're hand in hand. It's just snap ball. They are in there pushing back as far as possible, hands up. And those are 2 big, big, big dudes. And of course, that last final field goal, to your point, he might have hooked it. It might have, came back. Right? These kickers these days, I don't know if that would have had enough distance to do that. But man, the one guy for the Cowboys kicker, Aubrey, the other night when he kicked it, that was a 60 plus. But it literally started left and then comes back. These guys are so ridiculous in the kicking game, but regardless, doesn't matter. And then to pick it up and to run it back when 95% of Lincoln Financial Field had the Eagles minus 3.5, and to cover the number the way that they did is just one of those games that you will always remember if you were in the building. I was in the building. It was an incredible day. It was hot. It was a long day. I'm getting old, Luke. I can't hang with the big dogs anymore. I can't hang. These games are long, dude. We were down there at 8 a.m. right? Did the show, dealing with all that nonsense. Then afterwards, next thing I'm going into the stadium, I'm like, man, I'm gassed right now. I felt like Jordan Davis 2 years ago, Jordan Davis, not this year's Jordan. What a great day,
where does
man.
Where does Rams plus 3.5 rank in the worst beats you've seen? It's got to be up there.
It has
got to be up there because Jordan Davis could have just fell on that ball and the game could have been over. And oh man, if I had that bet, which I obviously never would have, but man, that
very true.
Would have been
it's
tough.
One of those deals too, where it's like, the bravado it takes to hit send on that wager. Let's just put the Eagle fan to the side because you're never going to do that. But for somebody that is a diehard, sports gambler out there, they place wagers on all these games, and you break that game down, and you're finally seeing like, okay, this could be the opportunity that the somebody's going to make it interesting for the Eagles. I just don't see the offensive output going to match up. XYZ. Your breakdown was pretty good, right? If that was your line of thinking going into that game, you had to be feeling pretty damn good about yourself when they were up 26, whatever it was, 26-7. I didn't feel great about that play. So here it was. It takes all the Coyones in the world to go ahead and hit send on that wager, to bet against the Eagles at home, short favorite. And then you get up the way that they did, dominating. Okay, this is good. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I am winning this wager. Maybe the Eagles win the game, but I'm winning this wager. And on the final play, Jordan Davis scoops it up and runs like Rocky. Down the parkway, Luke. Down the parkway. And he scores the touchdown. The place was insane. What a day yesterday. What a day.
I got a game ball for you. How about Fred Johnson?
Fred Johnson.
Coming into that game yesterday after a abysmal first half from Matt Pryor. I mean, that was brutal yesterday. They couldn't get anything. Those edge guys from the Rams, Jared Verse and those guys were, I mean, they were in the backfield every single play. Hurts was getting sacked, nothing for Saquon. And then Fred Johnson comes in and logs 42 snaps in the second half. And I did see a stat earlier. I got to pull it up really quick. But Eagles offense before Fred Johnson was 1.21 yards per play and 7 points. And after Fred Johnson came in was 6.6 yards per play and 20 points. Yes, a lot of that has to do with them throwing the ball more once he got in the game. But he stepped up big yesterday. That was the first time he's played right tackle in a game since week 4 in Tampa Bay last season. He really stepped up yesterday because that Rams D-line was getting to the Eagles heavy first half. And he stepped up for Lane Johnson. He came in and he dominated yesterday in a situation where the Eagles needed him because, as you know, the first half was not going too hot. No. It was ugly. 26-7 it got to at one point. Correct. Everyone thought it was over. The Rams thought it was over. And listen, I don't know what Hurts said to Kevin Patullo yesterday. I don't know what happened in that sideline exchange, but something happened there yesterday because I don't know if it was what Hurts said. I don't know if Sirianni said something to Patullo at halftime. Something happened yesterday because either Kevin Patullo figured out that the play sheet is two-sided or Hurts was calling the plays in the second half. I don't know what happened yesterday in that second half, but I mean, it was just absolute night and day from the Eagles yesterday.
All right, Nick Sirianni after the game, a little something about toughness.
We have to do a better job because we had 3 personal fouls today. So we have to do a better job of keeping our emotions in check. It's awesome. It's emotional to win away like that, but we have a good framework of our mental toughness, but we have to have that same mental toughness, when the emotions are high in the football game.
Another 3-0 start for Nick Sirianni. I got him wrong, man. I can't believe that he has had the success that he has had as the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. He deserves a ton of credit because he's got this team believing. I think they vibe off him. They definitely love his fiery approach. He talks smack. They enjoy that, and he just delivers. He knows how to build these guys up and get them going for game day. Again, I just want people to. I get it. This team, Super Bowl aspirations again this year. Ho hum. It's a regular season. No, like That's an issue for us in this city as a whole. No matter the team, no matter the sport, we need to enjoy regular season action across the board more. And when your Philadelphia Eagles are winning 19 out of the 20 times that they take the field, week in, week out, death, taxes, and the Eagles winning on NFL Sunday, Luke Arcaini, that's where we're at right now. It's insane. It's insane. And they were able to do it last night or yesterday in a game that, hand in the air, just at halftime, I'm like, man, this is atrocious. This is atrocious. But the defense held it together, limiting the Rams for picking up first downs, really started on the ground because they're not going to throw the football up 26-7. And the Eagles held the Rams to 44 total yards. 2 good running backs with the Rams, decent offensive line. And again, with McVay, you know what he's capable of as far as the offensive play calling. But the defense stood up. And, man, what a great win across the board in all 3 phases. And I hate to sound cliche, but it's the reality. To come back and win down 26-7, everybody had to have a hand in it.
It's not easy. And I mean, like you said, it was everybody on the field. It was the offensive line figuring it out in the second half. Because, I mean, I thought Matt Pryor was obviously really bad in the first half, but I didn't think anyone else on the offensive line looked that good. It wasn't just pressure from Matt Pryor's side. It was everywhere. The line didn't look good. They adjusted. Hurts, whatever calling was going on in the first half, he obviously adjusted. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith got way more in the mix in the second half. The defense just continues to – it feels like, there's going to be some touchdowns. And, yes, if you have Devontae Adams, Puka, Kyron Williams, and Matthew Stafford on the field, I don't care what defense you have, you're going to allow some points. It's just going to happen. But the fact that they, saddled up and just went to them, they didn't break after Kyron Williams put them up, 19 points, the second quarter. They battled like heck in the second half. They played good. I don't know what happened with Patullo, and if it was Patullo still calling plays in the second half, then I give him a lot of credit for truly adjusting, because the first half was really bad. But, it was just an all-around team win. And I think some people like to, hate on the term just win, but, it's all that matters. That matters. And, the thing with Hurts is, all these little keyboard warrior haters are like, yeah, they won, but he threw for 71 yards. Who cares? I don't care how many yards he throws for. If they win the game, they win the game. And yesterday showed you that maybe that's why you should have Jalen Hurts throw the ball a little more, because the guy can sling it. And if the Hurts A.J. Brown connection is on, then there's not a team in football that's going to beat them. And it's pretty obvious. They're 17-0 in Jalen Hurts' last 17 games that he started and finished. They're on Jalen Hurts' last 17 games that he started and finished. They are an undefeated season, a 17-0 season in the last 17 games that he started and finished. It's absolutely unbelievable.
So much to get into. Of course, we can't put the Phillies to the side because they are coming down the home stretch and looking good. I know that they didn't have the best series against the Diamondbacks, but I'm curious to know a little bit more on your takeaway from that.
Now we're going to forget about that one.
Yeah, all right. We're on.
Yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to tomorrow versus Miami.
Postseason, of course, a lot of teams. How about the Mets? Oh, how about the Mets? Step right up and meet the Mets. Unbelievable. Yeah, that gets a little juice going here on a Monday. We got a lot. Yeah, we got a lot to get to. And a Monday Night Football game coming up with a high total of 53.5. Other side, though, a crushing blow. On Mondays, you always find out injuries across the league. An absolute crushing blow to the 49ers and the hopes that they could win the NFC West. I'll tell you what exactly happened there on the other side. It's Luke Arcaini. I'm Sean Brace. Daily Ticket. More after this.
If you can wager on it, we're talking about it. It's The Gambler.
The biggest headliners in live music shared this stage
at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Jelly Roll!
Hi, this is Ed Sheeran.
Hi there, this is Brian Adams.
Make some noise for Tate McRae.
Hey, I'm Sammy Hagar.
Mariah Carey.
Hey,
Hey, this is Noodles from the Offspring.
We have room 5. Good evening.
Hey, this is John Fogerty.
It's your girl, Glorilla.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Get ready to relive the once-in-a-lifetime moments starting October 2nd, only on Hulu.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Traffic stopped at the Burlington Bristol Bridge right now for a lift bridge opening. In Delaware County, Route 1 is blocked both ways between Baltimore Pike and 252. Crews are cleaning up from an overturned tanker accident. All right, to tell a total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Pro Savings Days at Lowe's means up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies while supplies last. See Associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
It's Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arcaini Inc.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Looking for sun protection that actually works and feels great? Wear SPF by PGA Pro Justin Thomas has you covered, both on and off the course. Dermatologist tested and sweat resistant, it's broad spectrum SPF that won't mess up your swing or your skin. From the first tee to everyday life, Wear SPF is a high-performance skincare collection that helps you protect yourself like the pros. It's par for the course. Shop now at wearspf.com and stay sun safe all year long. That's wearspf.com.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
At DraftKings, we're all about responsible gaming. Sometimes
you got to know when to hold up.
There are no locks or sure things, so
know when to fold up.
It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
I have heart failure, and being out of breath all the time was just too much.
My lower back pain was interrupting family time.
My carpal tunnel syndrome was taking me away from work. That's why I talked to my cardiologist about my symptoms.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist and discovered I had ATTR-CM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis.
If you have heart failure and new or worsening symptoms, it could be ATTR-CM. ATTR-CM is a serious heart condition often accompanied by other non-heart-related symptoms. Talk to your cardiologist today and see what's possible. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket
and lets you save your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts as presets.
iHeartRadio is your all-access pass to the audio that moves you.
Get what millions already have. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze, before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
The next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
You ruled it out. No, we're not sure. I mean, there is concern because of how he feels. And, But they do the tests and stuff on the sideline. And usually they say whether he definitely did or not, and they didn't say that. But we are concerned with that, and keeping our fingers crossed for the MRI, whatever he does.
Head coach 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, there after the game. Nice victory by the Niners to pull that one out over the Arizona Cardinals. Did not cover the number, but still a win is a win, especially when you are competition for the division. A tight race. 3 out of the 4 teams were 2-0 heading into yesterday. Of course, the Rams lost. Niners won. Cardinals ended up losing there. So bottom line is this. Kyle Shanahan speaking on Nick Bosa, the stud, absolute stud pass rusher, potentially tearing his ACL. Well, yeah, news just came down today that is the case. Just now, Nick Bosa will be done for the season, suffered a torn ACL in his right knee. Oh, by the way, Luke Arcaini still with me here. This is the second time that he's torn an ACL in his career. That is just heartbreaking, man. Ugh. Yeah, that is terrible. Back in 2020, he did it as well. He also partially tore an ACL back when he was a senior in high school. Nice work by ESPN here to have that one. 2 sacks, 8 pressures, 15 tackles. And I love this for my analytical nerds out there. 21.9% pass rush win rate in the first 2 weeks before being hurt yesterday at the end of the first quarter. So a significant loss for the 49ers, who, oh, by the way, replaced a ton of players on the defensive side of the ball. I think they had 8 or 7 new starters over there. Bosa's the guy. I mean, we know how good he is. He's a guy that's constantly in the backfield, getting after the quarterback, no matter who is the offensive line he's going up against. Bosa 9 times out of 10 is going to win. And to lose a guy like that, that's a backbreaker. It's week 3. You got a lot going on. You're winning games, but you're dealing with Purdy. McCaffrey's hanging on by a thread. He looks great. We'll see if that can hang on. Of course, Brandon Ayuk, all the new faces. And you were in the running for the NFC West. And right now, Luke, just because I have the Rams winning preseason. I had the Rams winning that division. You can get the Rams right now on DraftKings Sportsbook at plus 185. I think that's a good wager. 49ers are plus 105. Seahawks still in the mix. Cardinals 8-1. Understood. Seahawks are good. I'll give them the credit that they deserve. But the Rams, for my money, I thought that would win the division. I still like what they're putting together. Plus 185. I think that's a wager everybody should have.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, even with the Niners, not having Purdy too. I mean, how Mac Jones has looked good, but how long is the Mac Jones hype going to go on throughout the regular season? I like that number for the Rams a lot. The Rams are still a great football team. Like Sirianni said yesterday, they are. The Eagles easily could have been on the other side of that game yesterday. That could have been a 3-0 Rams team going in, beating the Eagles. Sometimes your magic runs out, and the Eagles won. But yeah, just a brutal blow for the Niners and Bosa. It seems like the Niners these past few years, just injuries. I guess they'll have to rely on Bryce Huff now on their edge out there in San Francisco.
Actually made I think he had a sack in the first game against
did he?
New Orleans. Yeah, he fumbled too. Yeah, he played
Good
well.
morning, Bryce Huff. Nice to see you.
There you go. All right, quickly on this. Give us the latest as far as the Phillies are concerned. What 6 games left in the season? They got 3 against the Fish, 3 against the Twins. It's looking like the number 2 overall seed. Lock them in there.
Yeah, basically. So right now it's the most likely scenario is the 2 seed. Brewers hold the 1 seed still. Phillies are 3 games back of them, 6 left. It would have to be a lot of winning for the Phillies and almost all losing for the Brewers. So it's pretty safe to lock that 2 seed in. The magic number's 2. So there's 6 games left for the Dodgers and 6 games left for the Phillies. The Phillies have to win 2 of those games, 2 of 6. If they win the next 2 games, the 4 after that don't really matter. They can do whatever they need. If the Phillies were to go 1-5, all the Dodgers would have to do in their last 6 games is lose 1 game, and the Phillies would clinch the bye. So we can basically put this bye to rest. But like you said, things are getting a little interesting right now, not with the Phillies.
Well, they were the hottest team in the month of September. You knew that they were going to have a little bit of a
Phillies.
slump
Oh
coming.
yeah. I mean, it was bound to happen. That there was a 6-game West Coast trip with 12 left in the season.
Diamondbacks are good too.
And the Diamondbacks are also fighting to get in right now. Still.
How the hell are they good? They sold everybody. They traded 6 players at the deadline. How are the Diamondbacks still competing and winning?
They've been hitting the baseball.
That's
how. So I mean, listen, right now the Diamondbacks are a game back of that last wild card spot. So they're still playing for something. Listen, that series meant a lot more for the Diamondbacks than it did the Phillies.
Sure.
Which, can be part of the reason. I don't think it's all the reason. Ranger got lit up yesterday, but nothing crazy. But as it stands right now, if the season ended today, which luckily for the Mets, it doesn't, the Mets aren't in the playoffs. And after an off season of signing Juan Soto to a $765 million contract, 6 games left, if everything stays the same, they are on the outside looking in. Right now, the Cincinnati Reds would get that last wild card spot. It would set up a Dodgers-Reds wild card series and a Cubs-Padres wild card series. And then as far as the American League...
Well, hang on. Time out. So as far as the Phillies are concerned, do you have... Who would they be facing? Are you
probably the Dodgers. The most likely scenario right now is a Phillies-Dodgers NLDS.
Well, the Dodgers are facing who?
The Dodgers are facing the Reds, which
the Reds.
I'll take the Dodgers in that series, even though I did say a few weeks ago that the Reds can throw a pretty nasty 3-game pitching at you, but I still like the Dodgers in that series. Yeah. I don't think the Cincinnati Reds are going to go into Dodger Stadium and win 2 or 3 in the playoffs. No. If they do, then we can come back to this. But yeah, most likely scenario right now sets up a Dodgers-Phillies NLDS. So games 1 and 2 would be in Philly. Games 3 and 4 would be in LA. And game 5, if needed, would be back in Philly. Game 1 of the NLDS set to start 2 weeks from this past Saturday. So October 4th. So we are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days away from Red October. It is snuck up on us. It's been a 6-month regular season, ups and downs and everything in between. But right now, that's kind of where we're standing. Really quick, because I have to talk about it. I need the American League to stay as it is right now.
What do you got?
Standings, wild card series, 3 games in the Bronx, Yankees versus Red Sox.
Dope.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely awesome. And so that would be the 4-5 matchup. And the 3-6 would be...
I'll tell you right now, I don't think I'm betting against the Yankees. I don't know. Something is telling me... Man, that's a coin flip because the Red Sox have had their number.
Red Sox are I don't know. It's going to be that line's going to be a lot closer than you think.
Absolutely.
And right now it would actually be a interdivision matchup with the Tigers facing off against the Guardians, but Tigers have been sliding a lot.
Guardians have been falling. They won 10 straight.
The Tigers have been sliding just as bad as the Mets over the last, I would say, month and a half to 2 months. So there is a chance that series could flip and it could end up being, it could still be Guardians, Tigers. It would just be in Cleveland. But some exciting matchups brewing right now. But obviously, most importantly, the Phillies. Magic number is 2 for the bye. Win 2 of your last 6. If you really want to make everyone stress out, only win 1 of them and hope the Dodgers lose. But let's just win the first 2 games of the Marlins series, and then the Twins series would not matter. Last 3 games. Marlins series kicks off tomorrow night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I believe it will be Christopher Sanchez. So a good spot for the Phillies to at least knock the magic number down to 1. I have to check really quick. Yeah, so the Dodgers don't play tonight. So both teams could play. So the earliest the Phillies could clinch the bye would be Tuesday with a Phillies win and a Dodgers loss.
Yeah, the postseason commercials are out there. This bad boy gets started on September 30th and gave everybody some homework assignment over the weekend. The big one over there in the AL West, and the Mariners went down to Houston and swept them.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh went yard
Big
again.
time.
I think he might win the MVP. I really do. I think he might get the job
See where
done.
those odds are at. I haven't checked them in a few
It was
days.
plus 475. I took a swing at it last week, and it immediately dropped to 3 plus 300. It's one of those deals where it's like if he hits a home run, you're going to get a bad number. If he doesn't, he's 0 for 4. What do we got now?
Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge dead even at minus
Sounds about right.
115 right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
He's plus 4.
that's crazy.
I think it was last Tuesday. I said the plus 475. You should absolutely have a piece of that.
Well, now he's probably going to hit 60 too. He's at 58.
If he does, if he hits
60 home run catcher,
there's no way he's not winning if he hits 60. But even if he just finishes with 58, give it to him. And to play that position, switch hitter, what he's been able to do, and by the way, the success as the team. All right, enough baseball for a Monday.
One more really quick note. Dodgers, big for the Phillies. Dodgers are actually going into Arizona starting tomorrow night. Once again, Arizona has a lot more to play for right now than the Dodgers. Not that the Dodgers don't have a lot, but the Diamondbacks are fighting for their life while the Dodgers are fighting for a home series. So that is definitely one to keep an eye on.
All right, back over to the NFL. Luke Arcaini, Sean Brace with you here on a Monday, a daily ticket. Adam Schefter tweeted the following late last night. Sunday featured 7 NFL games in which the game-winning score came within the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, the most such games in a single day since 1970 merger. So with that, let's go ahead and revisit some of the big games that took place yesterday. First of all, I want to start with the number one play as far as survivor pools are concerned, and that was the Green Bay Packers on the road against the Cleveland Browns. We talked about it on Friday with Julian Edlow. That defense is for real with the Cleveland Browns, and I said I wanted no part of that game whatsoever. If I was wagering on it, I would have taken the points with the home team. Cleveland comes out on top outright. 13-10. It was a 7.5 spread, 7.5 point spread, and stays well under the total there. And it's just one of those deals where it's like, yeah, this is how it works. You know, one day everybody's talking about this team being the best in the NFC. The Eagles, who are they? This team right here does it all on offense and defense. And then all of a sudden they go to Cleveland and lose to the Browns, who potentially could have the worst record after it's all said and done, and only muster up 10 total points. A disaster of a game by the Green Bay Packers, Luke.
Yeah, just absolutely brutal. Going in, and I mean, look, this Packers team is good. They're real good. They got a damn good defense, and they have a good offense. I wouldn't call them a great offense. They have a really good running back there.
Yep. Good play caller, flip the floor.
Good play caller. I personally don't think they have a great quarterback. I think they have a good quarterback. And
that's fair.
Their receiver room is just, who knows? It's a bunch of guys that would be the wide receiver 3 on the Eagles.
It's the same story year in, year out for them.
Year out.
They swing for these guys. You know, it's Romeo Doubs.
It's about time they swung. It was the first time they took a first-round receiver in years.
That's true, too. You're right. But it's even spending the capital on a first-round pick, you're right. But at least they go out there and they have talent in that room. But nobody would ever take that step up. And,
since they lost Devontae Adams, they haven't had one wide receiver on their team that wouldn't be the wide receiver on the Eagles, which is crazy to think about. But just a nightmare of a game from them. No points in the first quarter, no points in the fourth quarter. Just brutal. 1 touchdown, I believe, in the third. Just bad. And then another crazy one. I know we'll probably get to it, but my survivor play yesterday, a little bit of a sweat, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pulling it off in the end. That one, it was crazy because I was watching the score early, but I wasn't watching it crazy once the whole Eagles fiasco happened. They were up 20-6, and I was like, all right, I'm good. They're going to go put 40 on them. And then all of a sudden, after the Eagles win, I turn and they're losing to the Jets at home. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? But obviously they do pull it out. So a few 3-0 teams match up again next week, but that was at least my survivor play, and it turned into a little more of a sweat than I was hoping for.
Yeah, I ended up hitting the send on the Buffalo Bills on Thursday night, so I advanced in my survivor pools on that day. Just to let everybody know, Eagles and Bucks next week, as Luke pointed out, 3-0, 3-0, and 3 is the magic number. Eagles 3-point favorites in Tampa. Wow. It's not an easy place to go down there and win, especially in the month of September.
You know how my thought on the Eagles going down to Tampa Bay. I won't be touching the game line. I will tell you that. I know the Eagles are winners, but
it's not the same Tampa team, though.
Not really down in Tampa Bay, though. I'll tell you that. And especially good chance they probably don't have Mike Evans.
Yep, saw that.
Left yesterday with the hamstring. He's carved us up in the best, so it'll probably be a lot of Quinyon versing Emeka Egbuka, who's been unbelievable to start the year. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's Sterling Shepard and Cade Otton, and they're not as scary if they don't have Mike Evans.
Well, it starts for me. Liam Cohn was a really good coordinator, really good play caller with them last year, and he was able to get other things going out of the backfield. And I thought that that's where the focus was, or the success of mainstream of the success for the Bucs last year was that. And they're not able to get that going this year. Bucky Irving is as good as advertised, but there's something missing right now. Now, this is something that they'll figure out after the first quarter of the season, potentially. They are good. Baker's the real deal, but you're right. Injuries continue to hit them in a big way, already without Godwin and now Mike Evans. But when you do have the rookie stud out there, Ibuka, who had 6 grabs, another touchdown yesterday, I believe. That's going to make life a little bit easier than not having him out there. That's for sure. Yeah, Ibuka had no touchdown, 6 grabs, 85 yards, no touchdown. He did have that one-hander. Yeah. That was absolutely gorgeous. Baker was 19 of 29, 233, and 1 touchdown in the air. All right, enough of the Jets conversation. Let's keep it moving. And Carson Wentz, the backup boy. Kyle Fisher was out there. Nice win by the Minnesota Vikings, but I got to flip it. It's not about the Vikings for me. It's the disaster that is the Cincinnati Bengals. And specifically, the fact that I bought into this offense thinking that, you know what, Joe Burrow got hurt. We know that if he's out there, watch out. They're going to put up some serious numbers. Chase Brown has been one of the most disappointing players in this year across the board. Yesterday, do you know his numbers yesterday? 10 carries for 3 total yards. 10 for 3. Now, I get it. No Burrow in there. Browning's in there, who's not that good of a backup quarterback. But come on. We were talking about him potentially being the offensive player of the year, somebody that was going to make the most of his opportunity, getting a ton of run back there. And that has not been the case so far. Just across the board, it has been ugly for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's funny because, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I paid any attention to that game yesterday. But what I did have was Chase Brown over 2.5 receptions, and that cashed in like easily in the third quarter. So I figured he had a few more yards than what he finished with. But yeah, I mean, that's brutal. I don't know how Zach Taylor has a job still. I can't imagine he's going to have a job for much longer. But yeah, I mean, Wentz looked good yesterday. You know, coming off the bench,
20 passes
for 20, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big Isaiah Rodgers game yesterday. 2 touchdowns for the former Eagle? Yeah, I mean, it was a good game for Wentz. I got to see. So they have the Steelers. Oh, yeah, this is when the Vikings go back-to-back out of the U.S. Game. International. That's the word I was looking for. International games. So in Dublin versus the Steelers this coming Sunday at 9:30. But, yeah, I mean, I would say it was a encouraging start for Wentz. I mean, hey, next 2 games are against the Steelers and the Browns. I think you can sneak Wentz through those games if your defense looks good and Jordan Mason continues to run the ball like he did yesterday. So, I mean, no real concerns there for the Vikings. Sean, I ask you if you want to hop on the wagon with me of the Indianapolis Colts.
I need to get on
this team is a wagon.
No.
An absolute wagon.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
they're wagon. All right.
Right now. I said right now.
When they pull that wagon into the towns that they have been playing, right? And I know that they beat Miami in Indy. Can you tell me who else they have beaten so far with this unbelievable 3-0 start? Like, that's the thing, right?
Don't
There's levels
care.
to it. They're playing well. It was the first punt. Danny Jones, Daniel Jones has everybody second guessing the way that they used to think about him. I get it. There's a lot to like with the Indianapolis Colts, but I'm like, wait a minute. Let's put into, let's bring this up for the judge and jury here. We got to put this into evidence. Oh, by the way, who they have faced off against. Are the Denver Broncos any good? We don't know. Right now, not so good. All right, they beat them barely. They beat the Tennessee Titans. Nice work. And
they
Miami
are a
Dolphins.
covering wagon through 3 weeks. Week 4, I don't know. They go to LA, play the Rams, but I'll say this.
Good defense.
Wouldn't touch the Rams in Survivor. Wouldn't do it.
No.
Wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you can't.
Danny Dimes is on one right now. There's got to be better games. That is not a game I would look to next week.
That is a 3.5 point spread. Rams are favored currently 48.5. Yeah, that's a tough one to sell. I don't know if I would sit here and say Survivor. I'd have to look at the list, but ultimately, that does seem like the Rams are going to get that game. I don't know though. We'll see. Yeah, you get Daniel Jones up against some good competition, especially if he has to. Stafford played bad yesterday though. Stafford's got to play a little bad.
He did play bad. There was a few. There was one ball to Puka in the fourth quarter that would have been a first down for the Rams. I believe it was third and 5 or 6, like halfway through the fourth quarter. Easy first down, would have went into Eagles territory. Just missed them.
All right, couple quick ones here. Carolina lumps Atlanta 30-0. So disappointing. But, got to give credit where credit is due. Carolina was facing a rough start to the season, already down to 0-2. And for them to come back and win that game, or to come out and win that game in division, now they have a little bit of life. They have a pulse as far as the rest of the season is concerned, because 0-3, that would have been a disaster. Still not buying anything, but that was a big-time victory by the Carolina Panthers.
Big time. And I mean, it was a big time victory from the Panthers, but it was a abysmal game for Michael Penix. Just absolutely brutal. I mean, 18 for 36 for 172 yards, 2 interceptions, a 12 QBR. He gets benched for Kirk Cousins. I don't know what their plan is down there, because I don't think Kirk Cousins is good, but I don't really think Michael Penix is that good either. I think that team needs a quarterback in the worst way.
5-point dogs at home, and they cover outright. The Commanders and the Raiders went head-to-head. Marcus Mariota getting his first start since 2022. Played okay. Didn't do anything special, but the Commanders absolutely rolled the Raiders. My big takeaway from this game is, the Raiders might have won on the road against New England, but that is not a good team. No. Chip Kelly, as far as trying to get Ashton Genty going, it just hasn't worked out. Again, he had 17 carries for 63 yards. There's a stat out there that's floating around on the timeline about how he is being hit in the backfield. I think 11 times out of the 17, he was either hit at the line or in the backfield. That's not a recipe for success. So Chip, I would expect a little bit more. But at the end of the day, Geno did go 19-29, 289, 3 touchdowns, no picks. But you have to figure out, ways to get Genty going, because you spent a ton of capital to draft him as high as you did. He's got to be the stud. I realize that Boise State is not the NFL, but 17 for 63 is just not going to cut it right now with the expectation for Genty coming into the season.
Yeah, so what you were saying, 11 of his 17 rushes versus Washington, he was hit at or behind the line of scrimmage. He has now been hit at or behind the line on 57% of his rush attempts this season. Listen, he was good at Boise State, but if you put this guy in the NFL against these big defensive lines and linebackers, if there's not an offensive line ahead of him, he's not going to do anything. I don't care how special of a runner he is. That's something they have to get figured out, because it was not a great start to the year for Ashton Genty so far.
All right. We have some other games to get to here as far as week 3, putting a bow on this. So before you get out of here, Luke, I definitely want to get your thoughts on Monday Night Football. Pretty big game going down tonight. Just rapid fire real quick. Houston 0-3 to start the season. I had the Jags winning the division. That's the wagon you need to be on, the Jacksonville Jaguars wagon there, Luke.
There we go. Here we go with the Jags. I can't even find this score. Where'd it go? Yeah. I don't know if the Jaguars are good or the Texans are just really bad.
Texans are bad. Bad offensive line. Didn't fix
bad
the issues.
offensive line. I don't know what's going on there in Houston, man. Listen, I know the line's bad. Just not impressed with CJ Stroud. I mean, obviously a bad year last year. Hasn't really shown it this year. I don't know what's going on there. Another one from yesterday. I thought the Chargers, once again, they didn't put up a ton of points, but I thought Herbert came up in a big moment there.
Sean Bernard is going to be.
I know.
He's taking a hit.
Tough day to be Sean
Justin
Bernard.
Herbert was balling. Yeah, tough year.
Tough 3
Justin,
weeks
you
to be
can't
Sean
be talking to me about the postseason.
Well, as Sean Bernard says,
yeah,
it's nice for your quarterback to go 3-0 in the first 3 weeks. Let's watch the whole season. One more.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys, Sean? Brutal
Ugly.
yesterday in Chicago. Caleb Williams, I thought looked really good yesterday. Big game for him, 298 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 31 points on the Cowboys. Obviously, they lost CeeDee Lamb. I think he tried to come back out for the second half, but not really
like 2 to 3
there.
weeks, too. It's a
yeah,
big loss.
not great.
That's all they have.
Bad football from those Cowboys. 1-2. Chicago gets their first win of the year.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, 298, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And we talked about this game a lot in the pregame because Russell Wilson did something that has never been done in Giants history the week before. And I think that's all you needed to say. Like the Cowboys secondary is atrocious. Their defense as a whole is ridiculous. And there's some decent players on that defensive side of the ball. It's pretty alarming how bad they are. And I get it. Micah Parsons, it starts and ends there. But you went out and spent a lot of money on some of those players on the defensive side. And they are struggling. They're getting picked apart. So ugly time to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. When is it a good time, though, right?
No, never. Not since, 90, whatever.
Final one for me, the Seattle Seahawks, again, throwing up 44. I know they beat up on the New Orleans Saints, but still, I think Seattle has something going right now that, potentially could be slept on as far as the division is concerned. Like I said, we went over those numbers earlier. There's still a lot of football to be played. I think they're plus 600 to win the division. Definitely up in the air. They already lost to the 49ers, no doubt, but that was a nice victory where they throw 44 up at home, and they have that offense humming. A lot of good wide receivers out there making plays for the Seahawks. All right, let's do this, Luke. Get you out of here on this one. Monday Night Football. We got the Lions. We got the Ravens. Game being played in Baltimore. DraftKings Sportsbook. Hey, new users, take advantage of the promo code. Use BRACE, BRACE. Get hooked up with what they have to offer. Trust me when I tell you, nobody hooks up new users better than DraftKings Sportsbook. Ravens 4.5 at home. 54.5 is our total in this one. And I know Julian Edlow joined me from DraftKings on Friday, and he said that this was his favorite play of the week, and I think both college and the NFL. I'm right there with him. The issue I'm having right now, Luke, and it's a little something that, isn't really that you put on a piece of paper or has nothing to do with on the field. It's the fact that everybody's taking the Ravens. I haven't seen one person out there say the Lions, not one. And I'm just like, all right, it's never that easy. You're gonna back the Lions plus the 4.5 tonight.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Any reason why?
No, honestly, not really. I think one of the reasons you just gave me, honestly, and I'm not a guy that instantly sees everyone on one team and just runs to the other team, but I think it's a little silly for everyone to be backing the Ravens. I think these are two good teams going up against each other. The Lions found their footing in week 2. I don't care that they played the Bears. They put up 52 points. I don't care what defense you're playing. It's hard to do that. I'll roll with the Lions tonight. I'll say this. I am going to bite on the over. I know it's high, 52.5. I think this game has the potential for there to be a lot of points, a shootout in the end. I'll roll with the Lions plus 4.5 in the over 52.5.
Jared Goff struggles. I don't think he's thrown a touchdown in 3 starts against the Ravens in his career. What does that mean this year or tonight? Not much, but still it's a team that he struggles against. And on the flip side, Lamar Jackson has thrived against NFC competition, 24-2, plays well on Monday Night Football as well. He's got a 20-6 record in primetime, which is best record by any quarterback, at least with 10 primetime starts. And it's just one of those spots where I'm like having a hard time backing the Lions, but I would love to see a good game. I'd love to see this go over the total. And this way everybody's cashing in their same game parlays. Let's get some wins there. I do like Derrick Henry to continue to run the football. I think he's going to get it going and possibly break 100. I saw the number was like at 85. So if you're dangling a number like that for me for Derrick Henry, I'm definitely buying there. If you made me make a selection, I like the Ravens to win this game. 4.5 just feels like one too many points. But I do like the Ravens. And if you don't think that the Lions are going to win this game, they could, though. So that's just a tough one. I would probably look at the props more than anything. Maybe a team total from the Ravens perspective here, as that is probably floating around, 30?
I got to pull it up. Yeah, I'd assume, let's see.
29.5 for the Ravens. So do they get the 30 mark on the Detroit Lions?
I don't know.
I say yes. I think we do see some fireworks. I think Zay Flowers finds a way to score a touchdown. I think Lamar gets it going, and but I do like the Lions to do well as at the same time. So that's why I think this is a tight game. I'll stay away from the spread. I'm passing on the 4.5. Give me the over on the 30 for the Ravens. Give me a touchdown for Zay Flowers, and give me over on Derrick Henry 85 rushing yards.
I like it. I'm going to roll Jahmyr Gibbs over 55.5 rushing yards. I thought that line was a little low. I know the Ravens defense is better than the Bears defense, but he had 94 rushing yards last week against the Bears. Thought that line was a little low. It's the first thing. It really stuck out, honestly. And then I'll probably throw that together maybe with a Gibbs touchdown or Derrick Henry in there as well. But I am going to bite probably heaviest on the over. I just really want there to be a ton of points, and I'm going to root for him.
Yeah. Love it. Anything from college football catch your attention this weekend? How about
College
Indiana?
football. Didn't get to watch a ton, but I saw Indiana laid the hammer down on whoever they played. Yeah.
Got that wrong. Illinois. Yeah, we got a good one. Hey, next Saturday, we got unbelievable.
Big slate, right?
Penn State,
Oh,
Oregon, Auburn, or Alabama, Georgia.
Give me every ounce of Oregon. Every bit of the plus 3.5.
3.5.
Whatever it's at. Give me it.
Luke Arcaini, always a fast hour
right.
with you here on a Monday. You're the best. Of course, your busy time of the year is coming up here, so get your rest in this week, sir. We'll catch up later.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Sean.
My man, there he is, Luke Arcaini on the Gambler stream. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk a little college football. Get you caught up on some of the big items from the weekend. Yeah, at the top of the list, Indiana. Yo! Slow it down. That game was over as soon as it kicked. About as wrong as you can get a game. That felt very TCU Georgia-like in the national championship a couple years ago when I picked TCU, and it was over as soon as the game kicked off. Good grief. That was not fun. Stupid. We'll go over some of the Heisman odds potentially are involving Indiana. You'll be interested to hear who is now the number 2 betting favorite. Oh, by the way, Carson Beck in Miami, all they do is continue to win in a big way. Ryan Beefcott, speaking of people that owe apologies on this show, on this network, Sean Bernard's, he's backing up. He can't apologize to Justin Herbert. He's got to hold it on until the end of the season because he continues to say, wait to the playoffs, wait to the playoffs. All right, it's September. But Ryan Beef Coyle, you got to come out and apologize to the great fans down there. Oh, they were supposed to be a disaster this year, I believe he said. And it starts and ends with that defense. We'll talk some college football on the other side. We'll get more in depth as far as Monday Night Football is concerned. And, of course, I can't get enough of what took place at Lincoln Financial Field with the Philadelphia Eagles battling back and winning the way that they did yesterday. Incredible game. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler, at Fox PHL Gambler on socials. More after this.
If you can wager on it, we're talking about it. It's The Gambler. And here we have a specimen from the early 2000s, a legacy investing platform.
Please don't touch the exhibit, folks. It could crash.
Ready to step out of the financial history museum? At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything: stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Oh, no. Not again, Moose. That's my third premium ball in the water today.
So just grab another one, Harry.
Yeah, easy for you to say. These balls are expensive.
Not mine. I get all my balls from buymyballs.com. That's balls with a Z. Top quality, recycled premium brands for a fraction of the price.
Wait a second, Moose. So you're playing premium balls and not freaking out when you lose one?
Yeah, you got it. Hurry up. You're holding everybody up.
Ha. Yep. I'm ordering from buymyballs.com right now. Buy premium golf balls without the premium price. buymyballs.com.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Week 3 of the NFL season will wrap up tonight. It's a Monday Night Football heavyweight showdown between the Ravens and the Lions in Baltimore. The Eagles flying high today after Jordan Davis blocked that potential game-winning field goal for L.A. and look to keep it going next week against Tampa. And the Phillies will open a 3-game set with the Marlins. That starts tomorrow. Philadelphia already clinched the NL East. They'll look ahead to the start of the postseason next week. I'm Scott Davidson.
The NFL season is rolling. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Monday drive home, we've got a closure in Upper Providence, Delaware County. It's Route 1 northbound. All lanes blocked between Baltimore Pike and 252. Crews are working on an overturned tanker truck accident from this morning. Now, the bit of good news is the southbound side has been reopened, so you can get through southbound, but not northbound. Blue Route southbound delays Broomall to Media Swarthmore and northbound 95 to Media Swarthmore. Schuylkill westbound Jan University Divine, approaching City to Belmont, and Blue Route out to 202 from an earlier crash. Lara Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arcaini Inc.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Saturday, October 4th, Bears
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terror Rivera. Plus, the first ever queen of violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Faria throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
It's the Daily Ticket with you here on another Victory Monday. Yeah, we've had a lot of those over the last season plus. 19 out of the last 20 Philadelphia Eagles games that Jalen Hurts has started and finished. They have come out on top. Playoffs, Super Bowl, regular season included. And yes, yesterday, a little more of that. I'm going to have another take or two on yesterday's game. Unfortunately, though, I do want to hit on a sad note, if I could. Very unfortunate to see anybody pass away on the timeline. That's one of the things about social media, if I could say it's a negative, right? It's just so gut-wrenching when it's immediate, you see it, and it's like, oh, man, really? And, of course, the person's passing away. There's never a good time, but, yesterday was a little was a bad spot, let's just put it that way, and it was deflating beyond belief. A gentleman by the name of Dave Sharapan passed away, and you might not know Dave if you're not in the sports gambling world. Damn, sucks, man. That sucks. You might not know Dave if you're not in the sports gambling world, but if you are, then you absolutely know who this guy was. And I just talked about one of the bad things with social media, right? Well, one of the good things is when you do find people who are as good as advertised, and that dude was. And that's all you can say. I didn't even know Dave, but here's what I'll tell you. There's not one bad word about the guy on the timeline, right? I had very few interactions with this guy other than on my timeline. The 2 times I was in Vegas, we ended up meeting up, and I've been on a show with Matt Peral. Blessing, my thoughts are with Matt, and of course my thoughts are with Dave's family, and that's really the tough part, with 3 daughters and a wife, and it's just like, man, cancer came and took him so fast. Like I said, I didn't know Dave like that, to the point that I'm choking up right now. But it's just sad. And the flip side of that is I did know Dave. I knew him from the timeline. I knew him, from his shows. He was always on Sports Grid. He was always doing something. He was featured on VSiN. Just an awesome dude. And he would wear jerseys and match it to the hats. And you would, like, if I wore that, people would be like, who is this dude trying to be? But no one said that about Dave. That's how, like, he was a good dude, just a good guy. And gone yesterday. Heard that on the way into the game. Really, really deflating. That's the word that I would use. Sucked. So, anything we can do over here in the Gambler to help with anything, hopefully people are potentially listening, watching on socials, whatever it may be. The Gambler will be there, and then some. We would love the opportunity to help out in any way. And I'm sure that there will be, because he had a ton of friends on the timeline. And like I said, not one bad word about the guy. I hope that's the case when I go, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of people like, Brace was an idiot. Yeah. That's the crazy part too, because I was thinking about this. Like, when I went out to Vegas, it was me and Jansen. And it was like the first time we went out there, it was a couple years ago. And like, Dave knows us from the timeline. Dave knows us, from the Gambler and all that. I don't even think we were on his show yet, because like when I walked up to him, he didn't know. And he's like, wait a minute, you're Philly. What's up, man? And next thing you know, we're doing lunch. Right? Like, we're doing lunch. My guy Russ, Matt, Jansen, and Dave, and a story happened that I will forever remember, Dave, because he busted my stones every single time that we talked after that. He's like, hey, make sure you know where you're going. Share that another time. But somebody put on the timeline that he was the type of guy, or this is who he was, that if you were coming to Vegas, and oh, by the way, who isn't, right? Everybody's making a trip out there. He would meet up with you. He would come out and meet up with you. And it's like, I'll tell you straight up. No. Like, you come into Philly and you're like, yo, Brace, I want to meet up. Like, I got to jump through hoops to get out of the house these days. Not to say that I won't come and meet up, but man, it's going to be difficult. All right. Maybe on like a Sunday afternoon, I can get up with you. Even then, football season, probably not. But Dave would meet up with you, man. And, damn, dude, that's crazy, because like, he was fine. Everything was good. And then next thing you know, it was like, I saw his wife tweeting from his account, and I'm like, that's not good. And I had no idea it was that bad. And then to find out that he is just gone, gut-wrenching, devastating, and deflating all across the board. Also, look, Dave was personal. And I know Bernie Perrant was personal to a lot of people out there. Bernie Perrant, Flyers, absolute legend. I got the Time magazine signed, hanging in my studio. Of course, well before I was enjoying Flyers hockey. But Bernie Perrant is one of those guys in Philadelphia sports, and you see it, right? He was still everywhere. Bernie's not from Philly. I believe he's Canadian, right? But you would never guess that. He was always around. He was always here. I just saw him doing something down in Ocean City, New Jersey, at the beach. He was doing something like a float. Like, he's constantly in the mix. And one of the great Flyer goalies, of course, personalities from the days when the Flyers were able to actually win a Stanley Cup, 2 Stanley Cups, and just tough. Like, literally learned about both of them at the same time. Like, what is going on? But Dave was personal, and my heart is really out for those girls and his wife, and just to lose that type of man in your life, who was a giant to every one of those girls. And it's just where you go. Like, if you don't have kids, you won't know this until you have kids. Once you have kids, your life is just completely different. Everything you thought life was about before you had kids, it's not the same. It's always about, like, now. Like, if something happens, I first think about, what would I do if that was my daughter? Or, man, my heart goes out to that family because of the kids. You have a child, and it changes everything, of course. So, as I said, to put a bow on this one, Dave, rest easy, my friend. And we're thinking about you right now and, of course, your family. And just a tough one. Very, 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 very tough to swallow there. But rest in peace. All right, Daily Ticket rolling on the other side. We'll hit some NFL back after this.
It's the Daily Ticket with Sean Brace, 3 to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Fly, Eagles, fly, and that's exactly what they did right over the Kansas City Chiefs. Final score, Birds 20, Chiefs 17, and the Super Bowl rematch that everybody was talking about. Now, the Eagles, of course, they showed up in a big way on defense. Offense, a little sluggish at times, but Jalen Hurts commanding the pocket. Oh, by the way, tush pushing all over that field. Yeah, that's why the NFL needs to remember that the road to Lombardi runs through Philly because of that play alone. And you know what? Your home for wall-to-wall Eagles coverage is right here on The Gambler. From the Daily Ticket with myself, live Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. To the Gambler Gang all weekend long. We've got your breakdowns, betting angles, and celebrations covered. Don't miss a minute of the ride. Stream us anywhere on the iHeartRadio app and make The Gambler a preset today. Keep it locked in as we march toward another unforgettable Eagles season.
If you can wager on it, we're talking about it right here on The Gambler.
My station, baby!
The biggest headliners in live music shared this stage.
At our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Jelly Roll! Hi, this is Ed Sheeran. Hi there, this is Brian Adams. Make some noise for Tate McRae. Hey, I'm Sammy Hagar. Hey, this is Doodles from The Offspring. We have Maroon 5. Good evening. Hey, this is John Fogerty. This your girl Glorilla. The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Get ready to relive the once-in-a-lifetime moments, starting October 2nd, only on Hulu.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Monday drive home, we've got a closure in Upper Providence, Delaware County. It's Route 1 northbound, lanes blocked between Baltimore Pike and 252. Crews are working on an overturned tanker truck accident from this morning. Now, the bit of good news is the southbound side has been reopened, so you can get through southbound, but not northbound. Blue Route southbound delays Broomall to Media Swarthmore and northbound 95 to Media Swarthmore. Schuylkill westbound Jan University to Vine, approaching City to Belmont, and Blue Route out to 202 from an earlier crash. Larry Totella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Harlem Globetrotters. This isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be a part of a legacy that never stops. Be there when history is made. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
The next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
Football season is back, yes, but off the field, life can hit even harder at times. Car wreck, slip and fall, work injuries, yeah, they all happen. Don't sit on the sideline after being injured, though. Only one person to call. Call attorney Big Al, 1-800-HURT-123. Big Al gets the job done, and he picks up 24/7. Big Al brings the heat both on and off the field, and he wins. That's the most important part. One more time, 1-800-HURT-123. Call Big Al today.
I have heart failure.
and being out of breath all the time was just too much.
My lower back pain was interrupting family time.
My carpal tunnel syndrome was taking me away from work. That's why I talked to my cardiologist about my symptoms.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist and discovered I had ATTRCM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis.
If you have heart failure and new or worsening symptoms, it could be ATTRCM. ATTRCM is a serious heart condition often accompanied by other non-heart related symptoms. Talk to your cardiologist today and see what's possible. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTRCM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
You're listening to the Daily Ticket with Sean Brace. On Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. The action starts here.
You're darn right it does. Bring it on back here. Daily Ticket with you. Coming down the home stretch. I'm getting out here at 5 o'clock. Coming up at 5 o'clock, you'll hear Sean Bernard and Sam Ostry on all things birds in the NFL. I'm sure those guys will be mixing in. Joel Embiid looks thin. I did see that, media day for the Sixers is later this week. I want to say that I saw that on my timeline. Again, I'm not buying anything that the Sixers are selling, but it is a new season, and we will be all over it from the NBA standpoint, wagering on the NBA as we do better than anybody out there. So we got a lot to get to as far as that is concerned. But all in all, I brought it up at the pregame show with Legion, and we had some fun with Mike Diaz, and I'm like, Joel Embiid thin. You buying what they're selling? And he was getting crushed. And Abu Dhabi comes up. Like, yeah, take it. See ya. Get out of here. Anyways, because they're playing over there. That's where they're practicing and playing some preseason games. All in all, though, enough the 76ers conversation for this point in time. But the boys will be all over the NFL for you right here. And a lot to discuss when it comes to, of course, what took place here in our backyard with the Eagles finding a way to come back down 19 points and winning the game. And it just does not get old. But yesterday, so many times that you look back at that game going, if they don't convert here, it's over. Well, this absolutely was the one play that they had to have a touchdown. And Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith, they got it done.
It is 4th and goal. This is the game right here. This is it. Hurts in the gun. Hang on. Deep breath. Hurts back. Hurts looks. Hurts fires. Complete. Touchdown! They take the lead. Smith. Smitty. It's Smith. Devontae Smith. Into the end zone. They take the lead.
It's this is the beauty about the Eagles, and we know how good they are. Remember, all offseason long, everybody wanted to tell us how great of a team they were, and they were. They won the Super Bowl. It's a really great roster that Howie Roseman has put together. Offensive line on the way out. You get from Dallas Goedert, who's pretty good at being a tight end, had a big game against the Cowboys in the one game that he did play. And then yesterday was out there a ton. So he's doing his job blocking, and he had the one touchdown, but that was about it. But Dallas Goedert is a very good tight end. Of course, Devontae and AJ around the league. Who's got a better 1-2 punch? Who am I drawing a blank here? You think obviously Justin Jefferson, Puka, and Devontae Adams are pretty good. I'd take AJ and Devontae Smith. Would you take Justin Jefferson and who am I drawing a blank here as far as the number 2 out there in Minnesota? Of course, they had Jordan Addison get hurt, but Naylor right now, yeah, I'm not really putting that up against these two. I don't know. 1-2 would be Jameson Williams, St. Brown going tonight, right? That's got to be up there. It might be, right? The best 1-2 punch as far as receivers are concerned in the NFL. I think it is. So as much long-winded to get to the point, it's like I was shining the light on A.J. Brown. Like, dude, it's such a different game. We get him going. And it is. Like, you see what he's able to do, how physical he is. Just throw him the rock, and he gets over 100 yards. And he was the big target in all of and the big reason why they were able to come back. But I think it goes hand in hand, where if you get A.J. going, it's only going to free up Devontae. And last year, I think you said more than anything that about Saquon. It was Saquon. You just get him going. It's only going to open up things over the top, so on and so forth. But this year has not been the case with Saquon. Running the football has been struggling across the board. Still doing well. I'm not trying to say that they're bad a running team, but when you set the level that high and you're not obtaining it, you're going to have some criticism come your way. And it's the bread and butter for this team. Again, we're nitpicking here. They're 3-0. That's the big, headline. But ultimately, have they played to their level? And I would say running the football, absolutely not. And I think that Saquon is going to have a big game and get it going. But that offensive line just isn't getting the same push, I feel like, that they were getting in years past. More of a pop, more in your face, more downhill. Not seeing that right now from the run game. Will it happen eventually? What will help it to get going is, of course, having big-time second halves like Jalen Hurts did yesterday to make you respect the pass a little bit more. So A.J. and, of course, Devontae, they go hand in hand, and it's great to have both of those guys out there that you can count. And Devontae, in that moment on 4th and goal, has to come up with that catch, cuts to the corner or the goal line and makes that grab. And, look, it's not an easy catch. In a pressure spot, going to the ground, tight defender. Devontae was awesome on that play. So nice pass by Jalen Hurts, number 1. Good protection, number 2. Great play call, number 3. But Devontae is definitely the big conversation starter and ender as far as that play was concerned. Also from yesterday, we talked a ton about Jordan Davis and, again, hand in hand, Jalen Carter. Those two guys up front with that push, getting the depth that they were able to get on multiple field goals. Yeah, they were able to block 2, but even in the 1 extra point, they were up in the face of the kicker, and it made you believe that they're going to get 1. Well, they got 2. And now if you're a field goal kicking unit out there, special teams coach, that's going to keep you up at night. Now, how do you stop it? What do you do differently? What can they do? Not sure. Special teams is not my forte. But there are plenty of good special teams coaches, just like coaches across the board in the NFL, that I'm sure will have figured something out. Remember, what was it, last year when Belichick? No, it wasn't even last year, right? It was the year before that because Belichick didn't coach. But right, wasn't it? I think it was Belichick. Remember when there was it was on a punt block and somebody came from like the gunner on the outside and then kept up and timed the snap perfect where he was running, and then he went right after and blocked the punt, and everybody's like, that's gonna change special teams. No one ever ran it again. Just hysterical. This isn't the first time that you have 2 big bodies up front that are trying to penetrate one guy. Hello, the tackle. They're not trying to penetrate the tackle. This has happened before. Good grief, it's a Monday, I'm allowed. It's not the first time we've ever seen that. But to have Jalen and, of course, Jordan Davis, the monsters that they are, send any man running. Oh, what a play. Not once, but 2 times. You know what? I want to hear it again. That's how good it was. Let's run it back. This is definitely one that, we'll be making the Eagles yearbook no matter what happens this year.
They blocked him the last time. The ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's blocked. It's blocked. It's picked up by the Eagles. Running with it is Davis. 30, 20, 10, 5, Touchdown! Game over! Jordan Davis!
Are you kidding me?
Blocked him again!
Are you kidding me?
Blocked him again! Have you ever seen anything like this?
Do you believe in miracles?
The Rams are standing silent. They can't believe what
Yeah.
just happened to them.
Miracle at Lincoln Financial Field. You got to love it. And the way that they were able to come out on top and cover the number, nothing better than that. That is for damn sure. So a lot of happy faces down there at Lincoln Financial Field, of course. A lot of happy rides home because ultimately, you know darn well that 90% of that stadium had the Eagles, -3, -3.5, whatever it may be. And there was just nothing that you could do. I love the people that there was one guy. And this is, I hope you guys are realizing that this happens, and I don't care. If you want your favorite content creator to do stupid stuff like this, knock yourself out. But I love the people that like to rewind and then act like it's live and they don't know. And one of the dudes who was in like the sports gambling space, of course, it was a 3.5 point spread. So he's like, I need him to miss. It's like, yeah, but no, what you need is a block field goal to be returned for a touchdown. That's the only way that you're going to cover the number. That's it. No other way of looking at it. Do the math there, dummy. But, people are going to get their clicks. What are you going to do about that? All right. There are a few negatives from yesterday, no doubt about that. But you would have to say the slow start. And A.J. Brown came out after the game. It was like, I just don't want to start games like this where we're playing not to lose. And like, why not be the aggressor? Why not be some of the great teams in years past, as far as the NFL is concerned, where, that they're going to come out swinging from the jump, take some shots down the field. Maybe that opens up things for Saquon a little bit more. I would tend to agree. I tend to believe that would be the case, but it's not how the Eagles have approached week 3. Week 1, week 2, it's very cautious start for the Birds. And I get it. Like I said, it comes back to the bread and butter of this team, and it's running the football, the offensive line. It's Jalen Hurts, underneath. It's getting him out of the pocket, making plays with his legs, whatever you got to do to find your way into the end zone, no doubt. But when you have receivers like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, don't you feel like you should take some shots a little bit more? Like, that's how I would operate. And I've always stood by the fact that if you are in the NFL and you're not taking a shot down the field, you're doing yourself a disservice due to the fact of the pass interference being a spot foul. It just can completely change everything. It'd be 3rd and 10 from your 30-yard line. Take a shot down the field, you get a penalty. Next thing you could be in their territory. You could be, in field goal range, whatever it is, because of the pass interference call. So I'd like to see some more of that. Maybe this is the game that gets everybody on the same page from that standpoint. Like, I do believe that A.J. Brown, who has been a tremendous leader this year, he hasn't been just one of these guys barking. He has been leading by example. Like, dude, if you want to get your message out there, sure, you can talk to the media. You can give your honest assessment, your thoughts on everything. But when your number is called, you better be ready to go. And AJ clearly is. Just a fantastic game yesterday. And at the end of the game, he said, man, we got to be attackers, man. We're too good. We got to be killers. And I think a lot of Eagles fans would be in agreement on that. So whether Petula's calling plays, I know he is, whether it's Sirianni's, script or whatever it may be, like, let's allow the playmakers to make some plays. And then on the flip side, maybe it'll open some things up for Saquon Barkley as well. All right, I did want to hit on this before we get out of here. We'll do some Monday Night Football. I promise you on that one, get some takes as far as tonight's score is concerned and some props as well. But college football was awesome again, right? We'll go to the top 25, and it has to start with what Indiana did to Illinois. And it's one of those games where, hand in the air, I had Illinois. But Illinois was a top 10 team. They had a great victory against Duke, 3-0 on the season. Indiana, 3-0 on the season. Top 20 team. I think they were 19th ranked. As far as the number was concerned, money coming in was only going one direction, and it was going to Indiana. That number continued to elevate. Now, I did see some places that said we're getting nothing but Illinois money, but yet the number continues to go Indiana. So different books, different folks, whatever. But it was definitely one of those games, and I don't ever really say this because I think you can say it about a lot of these games and numbers and spots. It's like, yeah, that line was a little telling, right? It did want to push you a certain type of way. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't buying what it was trying to sell me. I was all in on Illinois. Illinois looked good in that Duke game. I thought offense was a strength for them. I was wrong. Indiana is locked and loaded as far as that RPO system is concerned. Signetti, the coach, is pretty darn good. And I'm not up on, these quarterbacks when they come into the transfer portal, but Fernando Mendoza, and what he's been able to bring from Cal, this kid has a rocket for an arm. They have great receivers at Indiana, fast-paced offense, really good play calling, and I get it. It was a spot where Illinois just, once the snowball game momentum down the hill, it was just going to gain steam, and you weren't going to stop it. So it did get a little bit more ugly than what the score, the score will tell you it got ugly, 63-10, but it just got away from them, and there wasn't anything Illinois could do. But Indiana is the story here. 14 touchdowns for Mendoza, 0 interceptions. He's a junior. He's about to throw for 1,000 yards through, what's he got? 4 games. And in that game against Illinois, 21 of 23, 267, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. That has bumped him up in the Heisman Trophy voting as far as odds-on favorite are concerned right now. And he is your second favorite on the odds board here at DraftKings Sportsbook. Mateer still with the plus 750. We'll talk about Oklahoma in a second. Mendoza plus 950. Dante Moore 11-1. Joey Aguilar with Tennessee 14-1. And Marcel Reed also in there at 14-1. Carson Beck 15-1. I know he threw an interception, but I thought he played all right. A lot of football to be played. I'm not here to make the case for Mendoza winning the Heisman Trophy, but I am done talking about last year and Indiana's team. And no, it's not about last year anymore. This is clearly a different team here that could potentially be better than what Indiana was last year. And they had a fantastic season. So this is definitely a spot where I am done underestimating Indiana. And I don't know what it is. I think, it's obviously a basketball program, right? Signetti, I know JMU, and he's won a bunch of places, no doubt, but maybe that was playing into it. It's just Indiana. Indiana's never good at football. Never. And that cannot cross my mind anymore. It's a new day for Hoosiers. And Signetti could potentially be gone, right? Like, I think there's going to be some big-time jobs opening up here, specifically in the SEC. Maybe Florida's at the top of the list. He's got to be the first guy you're making the call to. Because as he says, all they do is win. And that was an impressive beatdown, to say the least. Nice victory by the Hoosiers at home. One I wish I had. That's a fun game to have when you're on Indiana as far as that is concerned. Speaking of Miami, crazy stat from this one. Florida did not convert a first down on third down. Not a third down conversion all night. Miami's defense is no joke. Carson Beck did not, he's 17 of 30 at 160. He actually didn't play all that well. I knew he had the interception. I thought he did a little bit better than that, but nothing really there to write home about. But that defense is no joke. And watch out for the ACC because they are definitely a potential team to win the ACC. Let's pull up the futures here as far as conference winners are concerned. ACC right now, Miami plus 130, Georgia Tech plus 380 over Temple this weekend, plus 475 for Florida State, plus 850 for Louisville. I think Miami and Florida State are coming up next, if I'm not mistaken there. Also from college football from the weekend, Florida State did lump Kent State 66-10. Oklahoma beat Auburn, and it was a rough beat. It wasn't a bad beat. I think you could classify it as a bad beat, but I'm not one of those guys. I'll take my lumps. You're going to have some good moments. You're going to have some bad moments when you wager on college football. That was a bad moment. It was a 5-point game. Auburn had the ball. All you had to do is just not take a safety, and they did. Oklahoma was able to get a safety. They go up by 7, and the number was 6.5. That was a tough loss. Not much you can do about it, but it will even itself out. To open the day, Texas Tech went into Utah. It was one of those games where I'm just like, Utah is such a difficult place to go in and to win. Most teams don't, but it's a noon kick, which is a 2-hour difference, kind of, taking the foot off the gas pedal just a little bit as far as enthusiasm from the fan base, raucous crowd, all that. If it was a night game, it would be a different atmosphere, but it wasn't. It was a noon kick. But all that to the side, credit to Texas Tech because they balled out. They were the better team from start to finish. Texas Tech quarterback, they had 2 quarterbacks actually do a play in that game, but Hammond had 2 touchdowns. Big fourth quarter, they lumped up Utah in the fourth quarter at Utah, 24 total points in the fourth quarter. So it was close. I think it was a 13-10 ball game. And the next thing you know, that was all she wrote. Texas Tech with a monster victory on the road. Dampier 25-38, 162, 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, it was a game that I was not able to watch. It was definitely an early start and I had to get out of the house, do some things, be a little active on a Saturday afternoon with the fam. So unfortunately, I was unable to catch that game in great detail. But it was a tight score until it wasn't, and that was frustrating because I did have Utah at home in that one. Got that one wrong, to say the least. And again, from the division or the conference, as far as to win the Big 12, let's have a look at DraftKings Sportsbook as far as conference winner is concerned for the Big 12. Texas Tech plus 240, Arizona State plus 550, TCU 6-1, Iowa State plus 650, Utah 10-1. Texas Tech should get a look right now from anybody out there at plus 240. Absolutely. Let's look at their schedule real quick. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders. They got college football's funky with the schedules. A lot of play. I think Miami's not playing. They got one game in like 21 days. Crazy. Texas Tech has this week off. Following week, they're on the road against Houston. Houston's got a good defense. Then they take on Kansas at home. Arizona State's a good one. That's at Arizona State. Oklahoma State, get rid of Gundy, please. He's so terrible. Kansas State, BYU, UCF, and West Virginia. It's not the easiest schedule, but again, with plenty of football to be played, you could say this about any conference, right? We'll see what happens. Let them play, and we'll get to the end of the season, and we'll see who's in the running at that point in time. Big Ten, big matchup this weekend with Oregon and Penn State, plus 260 both ways to win the Big Ten. Ohio State's your favorite at 2-1. SEC right now, Georgia plus 260. They got Bama this weekend, plus 450 for Texas. Alabama plus 475. LSU plus 550. Then A&M plus 1,000. There's money to be made on A&M right now. Definitely. From the weekend that was, Notre Dame bounced back at their first victory on the season, 56-30 over Purdue. Missouri over South Carolina and Sellers. It's 18-28, 302, 2 touchdowns, but that's a bad team. And Missouri is a good team. 29-20 was your final score in that one. Michigan got the best of Nebraska in that one. Michigan was the play. Arroyo did play well, 3 touchdowns, but you got to tip your cap to Michigan on that one. Vandy continues to throw up impressive numbers. I don't care who they're playing against. Georgia Tech lumps up Temple 45-24. Ole Miss over Tulane. That was a tight spread. That was a 10-point spread. Ole Miss improves to 4-0. Tulane had some people talking potentially on the upset side. That was not the case. Ole Miss was the play from start to finish there. And then Oregon getting ready for next week's game against Penn State. Nice little appetizer there against the Beavers. 41-7 was your final score. And again, just as far as where we're at right now for week 5, top 25 action. Florida State and Virginia go head-to-head on Friday. TCU and Arizona State. That's a big game on Friday night. Ooh, la la. I like that. Arizona State, 2.5-point home favorites against TCU. Immediately, I like TCU. But that's definitely one of those where you're starting to wonder where we at with the number. Arizona State, 2.5-point favorites at home. Saturday, we go Georgia Tech, Wake Forest. We go USC, Illinois. USC now a 7.5-point road favorite. Just last week, they were a point favorite. Notre Dame and Arkansas. Nobody cares. Vandy. And Notre Dame's still ranked. All right. Vandy in there taking on Utah State. Ohio State and Washington. Washington's undefeated 3-0. Ohio State 9.5-point favorites, 3:30 kick. LSU and Ole Miss, damn good game there. Auburn and A&M, damn good game there. Indiana and Iowa, let's go. Tennessee, Mississippi State, I can dig it. 4-0 versus 3-1. Tennessee a 7.5-point road favorite. Crank up those cowbells. Iowa State, Arizona, Oregon and Penn State 3.5. That's at 7:30. Alabama, Georgia at home 2.5-point favorites. BYU and Colorado, just watch BYU take it to ECU over the weekend. They are 6.5-point road favorites there. That's a 10:15 kick. And then UMass and Missouri 44.5. So yeah, a lot of big games next weekend on Saturday, of course, Friday as well in college football. And we'll be all over it for you right here on The Gambler. Get myself beef. We'll be live at Villanova, a matter of fact, on Saturday. We're going live 1 to 3 college football rundown show live from Villanova Stadium up on the main line, as it is family weekend for Villanova. So we're bringing you the game in a tough loss by Villanova over the weekend to Monmouth, 51-33. Ouch. But William and Mary coming up here at home, and we'll be out there live from 1 to 3 on Saturday right here on The Gambler. All right, fun show today. Special thank you to Luke Arcaini, all things NFL, college football with a mix of postseason baseball as well. We'll be doing more tomorrow. And tomorrow got a new guest, got a daily ticket debut. We'll be getting, of course, Kyle Fisher on one of these days, but JP Acosta from CBS Sports. This dude was awesome. Caught him on television the other day. Reached out to him immediately. Seems like he's a younger dude. I said, man, I'd love to get you on my show, talk some college football. So he's going to join us. And looking forward to getting JP. He'll be on the show tomorrow, right at 3:30. So definitely lock that in. And then we have Ryder Cup action too. So we need to start talking a little golf, as this is it. All over after this one. Beef Embrace in Nova is like the second coming of Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Let's go. I have no idea who Jimmy Timmy is. Sorry, cousin Nikki. Is that my age? Are you showing your age that you're a Ute? I don't know Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, but the power of Google, I have that in front of me. Yeah, no. Nope. But I see you, though, cousin Nikki. I love it. All right, do it for me here today. Coming up next, 5 o'clock hour, you're going to get Sean Bernard, Sam Ostry, talking all things NFL with a highlight on all things Philadelphia Eagles. I did look it up. Pretty funny. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shout out cousin Nikki. We broke 1,000. We have 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube page. All thanks to cousin Nikki. He's the man behind the scenes with the plan. Shout out to you, sir. You are the best, cousin Nikki. We'll continue to hit that heavy this week. Get you up some good content, especially from Luke Arcaini a little bit earlier today. Coming up on the other side, Sean Bernard, Sam Ostry. I'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Here's what we got. I'm not touching the game spread-wise, but give me team total over. I think we see some fireworks from the Ravens. Team total over 29.5. A Derrick Henry anytime touchdown and Derrick Henry over 85 yards rushing. And you know what? We'll even sprinkle in a little Zay Flowers action as well. I'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go Ravens. Talk to you.
It's your Monday Sports Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Monday Night Football in Baltimore. The Ravens host the Detroit Lions.